Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeanette Schaefer. I'm the Assistant State Librarian for Library Advancement. And let me just see. It is transcribing me, so I have to see how I can hide that. It's a little bit annoying. So there we go. So I have with me Lucy Fortier. Lucy, do you want to turn on your camera and say hi real quick?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for attending.
Yeah, Lucy is our Grants and Grants Administrator, and you often hear from her about these grants, and she usually has really good answers for you. So she is another great resource for you as you start having questions about reporting. So we're going to do a really casual session today. I am going to walk you through the IMLS grant libraries equipment and supply grant report. I'm going to just submit a sample report while you watch. I'm going to show you a sample report from Morristown. They already did theirs, so I just want to show you what it could look like. And then we'll open it up to questions that you might have, and we'll also announce about the new grant that is current right now, where the application deadline was this week, but we're extending the deadline. So we'll talk about that too. Post any questions in the chat if you want, and we'll open it up for questions afterwards as well. So we'll have a pretty casual conversation here. So I am going to share my screen right now and just show you a few things, and we'll submit a fake grant report. So give me 1 second to pull that up. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. If you don't, chime in, please. So actually, I'm going to start first by showing you the Morristown Centennial report and what that looks like on our end. So I just want to show you here what they did. So Morristown got $8,291 as their grant allotment. They spent 8,424. So the form automatically calculates either, what you got and also what you are submitting in your report. And then they listed everything that they bought with the quantity, with the price per item, and then the form will total what you input here. Be as specific as you can, and then also make sure that your receipts show exactly what you have on here. Now, I've noticed that some folks have submitted receipts that have things on them that don't apply to this grant. If you have receipts that have both, so things that you're applying to the grant and things that you're not, please do me a favor and mark through with a marker the things that don't apply to this grant. That's really helpful for me, especially if you have a long list. This is actually a pretty short list of things. I've had people submit stuff for 20, 30 items, and it's really hard for me to go through and see what you're doing, because I do look at every receipt and I look at the numbers and I compare the numbers. Another thing that would be really helpful to me is if you could put the receipts in the order in which you report on this form as well. So that's just a request from me to help me out with when I go through the reporting as well. So that is what this looks like on my end. And then I want to highlight here the narrative as well. So the narrative that Morristown submitted was the ARPA funding allowed Morristown Centennial Library to better serve our community during the pandemic. We have been able to provide outdoor placemaking items that have helped to gather people together during a time when we may have been isolated. Our lawn games were enjoyed by the public and remind them of the resources that are inside the building. Really smart. And this is the stuff that IMLS wants to see and read. Our new computers allow us to better meet the needs of our patrons and help us alleviate economic disparity in the community. So this touches on COVID mitigation. It touches on helping bridge the economic disparity. So it kind of hits on all of the things that we need to report to IMLS. And then They uploaded the receipts all in one document, and also Kendra provided some photos and screenshots of their social media, promoting their lawn games and their outside placemaking items. So this is a really nice package of a report. So I wanted to just show you what that looks like. So let me see. Are there any questions, Lucy? I can't see the chat while I'm showing this.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, good. So let me go in and show you what the form looks like. So the form can be found on the website, and I can post the link into the chat when I'm done here. So this is the reporting for the public library's equipment and supply purchases, which is due. So you have to have the money spent on July 15th and the form in also by July 15th. Now, I've had a lot of questions about the back order issue and the supply chain issue. Ideally, and per federal regs, you are supposed to have the deliverable in hand as well by that deadline. However, if you can get the receipt and you can show that you have the thing on order and you can get it within the next couple weeks after the deadline, we're willing to accept that. You just really need to talk to us. As with everything else, talk to us, tell us what your situation is. We can usually figure it out. So if you think that your computers aren't going to be delivered until, I don't know, August 15th, just let us know, and then be sure to let us know when they do end up coming in to make sure that, you know, the grant is now complete. So you have to tell us those things so that we don't bump into issues with the feds as well. So the form link is on this page, and I'm going to scroll down under timeline and reporting. So it is this link right here, and I'm going to open it up right now. And I am going to just go through, and I'm going to pick, let me pick Barnett. And I'm going to put in a fake address just because I have to. And bear with me here. Okay, so this form looks really familiar. It's actually the exact same form as the grant application, just you know, a little different. So, okay, so Barnett got 2,500. So I'm just going to say that we spent 2,800. Okay, and then again, I'm going to have to list every item that I purchased. I'm going to do outdoor programming and placemaking items. I'm going to do picnic tables, 2. No, I'll do $500 each, and then I will add the item here. Then I have to go back and do outdoor programming again. Item description is tent, quantity 1, $1,000, and that will add it. And then I will do one more thing here. Furniture, indoor furniture, 2. Oops. Oh, quantity. Whoops, I got that confused. Sorry, too quick here. 2. Let's say they're $300. My total will probably not match what I reported above, but let's just kind of not dwell on that for a second. Then I have to write a short narrative on, again, how this was related to how I spent the money related to the economic and community needs during the pandemic. And I have a little thing prepped here that I'll just copy and paste. Okay. Then I am going to upload my file here with the receipts. And again, those need to be, oh, let me just take a random one. Thought I had it queued up, but I don't. Okay, so I'm going to take this. That's my receipt. So receipts should all be in one, and ideally in the order in which you're reporting. And then this is optional. So this is, the second one, provide any supporting documentation, can be anything, social media posts, photos, testimonials in a Word document from your patrons. Drawn pictures from kids that really enjoy your outdoor stuff that you got for them, or the snowshoes that you got for them. So anything that is heartwarming and that potentially IMLS can also take to Congress to keep arguing the case that we continue to need funding for public libraries. So that is all here. I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to review. You can always edit at this point if you find that something is not correct. And then you attest to having spent the funds in the manner stated and documented here. You check that off and you hit submit, and you should get an email receipt as well. So that is really it. It is not terribly burdensome as far as we think, at least. So hopefully this will be pretty easy for folks to do. And let me stop sharing right now. So what questions, concerns do you have? You're welcome to turn your camera and your mics on now. Just remember, we're being recorded. Do we need to worry about reporting that we spent more than the grant that we receive? No, it doesn't have to get down to the penny. Actually, I prefer it doesn't, because the reality is that you're probably not getting down to the penny. And I'd rather see that you spent more. If you spend less, just buy some more books and just bump up to at least what we gave you. I don't, and that's where pennies do matter. If we gave you $2,183.24, please spend exactly that amount down to the penny or more, but not less. And even if you're at 23 cents, we just really need you to spend that extra penny. So buy some more books if you need to. Thank you for that question, Amy. Other questions? Okay, quiet room. Does it seem pretty manageable for folks out there to do? And especially with scanning, if you have issues scanning, please talk to us. We can help you. We can walk you through how to do it on your iPhone. Every iPhone has a scanner now. If you don't have a scanner, or if you haven't already spent your money, buy a scanner, because every library should have a scanner now. So we highly recommend that. Okay. Great. Thank you, Amy. I'm glad you bought printers, copiers, scanners, which also helps people, if you're sending your little report, it also helps people during telework and look for jobs, and the fact that you have a printer and scanner will help them get all that stuff done. All right. Know that we are here. I've gotten a lot of really, really great questions about the reporting. I know people are constantly changing out the things that they're wanting to buy because needs have changed. They found money elsewhere that they can buy stuff, and they're always looking to update what they originally budgeted for. I've been able to say yes in most cases. However, I want to remind you, it is May 9th, not June 9th. And with the supply chain being what it is, I would really wrap up the first round of grant spending now. Don't wait, because you're not going to get the stuff on time. So Jane says, is it okay if we spend over on certain items as long as I keep within the overall budgeted amount? This means not purchasing a couple of small items which have been budgeted. Yes, absolutely, Jane, especially if you hopefully you're staying within what we had previously approved. So the items that we approved should really kind of be the same, but if you're buying, if you asked for 2 computers but you decided to buy 3, and then you're not getting chairs, that's totally fine. You can do that. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility that we have, and I've been able to work with pretty much everybody except the folks that had wanted to, update their wiring, or ADA door openers have been an issue. I've gotten a lot of questions about those. Unfortunately, those are construction, even though this money would be a great use for door openers, but it's construction, so we have to say no to that. Okay, other questions? No, all right. So actually, let me put the email address in here. It's always best if you don't email us directly, but if you email the ARPA email address, because then Lucy and I we're both monitoring it. And if one of us is out or doesn't have an answer, the other one can pick it up. So I'm just going to copy that and put it right into the meeting chat. And I'll also put the link for the webpage where that grant form is. Put that on there as well. I have to be careful that I put the right one in because we're working with 2 grants right now and it is so confusing, which I'm sure it is for you as well. Okay, so give me 1 second to do that. Okay, so you have the 2 links there. If you want, we can move on to the second round if you want to talk about that. But please keep posting questions about the first round and the reporting because that is what this is about. But I wanted to let you know that Lucy and I met this morning and we recognize that a lot of people have issues with the UEI and getting the UEI. So we decided that we're going to extend the round 2 IMLS ARPA grant deadline by a week to May 18th. So hopefully that's helpful. How many of you have successfully gotten the UEI or have had no issues? And how many of you are in the process? If you could just put in the chat, that would be helpful for us to see. May 18th, however, is the drop dead deadline for this application. We're butting up against the year-end fiscal year for the state, so we can't issue payments during the end of June. And then the feds and their fiscal year at the end of September, so we have to work within the parameters of that. So May 18th, after that, we can't make any more exceptions. Oh, I'm so happy to see that most folks got it. Okay, are in the process. Wendy, be in touch with us because often we have ways. Lucy is just amazing at digging up UEIs for folks. So in many cases, we are able to find the UEI when the libraries or the municipalities don't think they have one. The Fed system, so sam.gov, is incredibly bogged down right now. So we also felt like we had to extend the deadline because right now the UEI numbers issuing is delayed and people aren't able to look theirs up. And it's just a mess. And cross-referencing is sort of broken because the systems aren't talking to each other. And we're suffering from that ourselves. So we know the challenges that you have. So that is to say, if you bump up against UEI issues or any other issues, don't let your application be held back because you don't think you have a UEI. Just talk to us. Tell us whatever your issues are, we can work through that. Sarah, yes, reach out later with questions. Yep, and again, Lucy sent out a reminder to please use that email, the ARPA email, so that we can both respond. We're a tag team here, and I'm going to be out at the end of the week as well. So hopefully that's helpful. Don't be discouraged. We want you to have the money. We'll work with you as much as we can within the parameters of the state and the feds, but you should have this money. I don't think we're ever going to have this much money again to give out. So yeah, so that's really all I have for you today. Pretty straightforward. July 15th is the deadline again. Don't delay, you can turn in anytime. Folks, we've gotten a lot of reports already, and don't delay in wrapping up what you want to spend that round 1 money on. Okay, so good. When will the disbursements be made? So I'm going to send a timeline out. Can I post the link to the second round? Yeah, I'll do that. Sue, the timeline is going to be, I think what we're going to do is have the grant agreements to you by June 1st. You'll have 6 days to sign, and then we're going to send everything, wrap everything up, and hopefully get payment between the 15th and the 30th of June. And again, that's barring any illness. And I just have to say that because so many people are out all the time, and then, you know, the the deadlines might change or the timeline might change. But that is, we're gonna try to do that by no later than June 30th, hopefully sooner. Again, we depend on AOA Finance to issue the payment. So even if we get everything in on time, that doesn't mean that they're going to get it out, because they serve a bunch of different departments and they're just a handful of people. So we try to respect their timing as well and not overpromise. So once the agreement's signed, you can spend. Yes, Sue, if you have the money to advance, as always, you know, we kind of warn people, if you don't have the money to advance things, just in case things get, you know, delayed. But yeah, once the agreement is signed by both parties, you and us, you can start spending, just like the first round. And let me just post that link. Give me 1 second. Okay, that is the link for round 2. So again, we want to encourage you to go for that money. And, you know, if nothing else, buy books or an outdoor tent or a sun umbrella or something that will help you extend the season, maybe so you can be outside more, and yeah, and work with us. Just reach out. We're happy to help. Okay, so I think I'm going to end this. Thank you for coming, and hope you enjoy this lovely, lovely weather. All right, take care.